All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Three Rivers Rundown, podcast number 4.
Let's
How
get
you
it,
guys
baby.
doing?
Feeling good.
Doing great. Feeling great.
Ready
How
to
was
get
your guys'
after it
weekend?
It's a good weekend. It was a great weekend after Sunday night, I'll tell you that.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Sunday night, Dom,
I'm still
heard you were
struggling with you. Yeah, dude. I probably got home around like 1 a.m., 1:30, dude. And to be honest with you, I drank the entire day. I started tailgating around 11 a.m. and I'm still feeling the effects today. But it was all worth it. It was all worth it.
that's how you could tell we're getting old. That used to be like
Dude,
nothing.
I know, man. I used to like literally wake up and be perfectly fine a couple years ago. Even now, it hits me for 2 days.
Oh, yeah. It'll get you.
But like I said, it was worth it.
How was the stadium? Was it just absolutely electric?
It was electric. There was
Sounded
actually,
loud as hell.
Yeah.
I actually saw one fight. No, not really. There wasn't like any punches thrown or anything, but there was a fight, literally like a section over from me. It was obviously a Jets fan, a Steeler fan, just bickering back and forth. They actually both got kicked out.
Who would have won if they started
Steeler,
throwing? All right.
Steeler, as he should have.
Good.
And Donald Trump was like literally in the box, like a couple sections away from me. I didn't see him, but like, I
Really?
saw everybody stand up and like start chanting USA.
That's cool. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, but they didn't show on TV, but the atmosphere of the game was insane. The one thing I was really shocked about, to be honest with you, was there actually wasn't many Jets fans there. Like I was expecting like a decent crowd from New York, especially.
Mhm.
But like compared to Dallas travels, man. Dallas travels.
I feel like it's because Dallas has just so many fans that are like all over
Everywhere.
the place. So they're not
Yeah.
necessarily coming from Dallas. Like they could be people like in the middle of Pennsylvania. They're just
Right.
Dallas fans.
Kind of like Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Pittsburgh fans are everywhere. I feel like a reason behind that is because like when football first started getting popular and stuff, it was like Dallas was a really good team. Like they're America's team. Steelers, they were winning all the Super Bowls and stuff. So it's like those teams kind of got like love for them. And you watch the upcoming years, you're going to start seeing a lot of like people from all across the country are going to be like Patriots fans and Chiefs fans just because of like success. Like the young kids who like maybe they don't have like a team near them, they just latch onto those teams.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Joe Namath, I mean, he kind of made a name for the Jets a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that was like kind of pre like NFL, like
True.
I know really into it.
I think now though, Steph, it's just so big that like you're not even going to notice that. Like it's so much different because like back then, it wasn't like not everyone had a TV, not everyone could watch a game, but you hear about the Steelers winning all these championships, and that's kind of how it just like developed into nationwide fandom.
Well, you know what, guys? Let's kick it off with our recap on how we did last week. We could start off. We could do a rundown of how our first guest ever, the Exterminator.
The Exterminator.
Yeah,
man.
he was
he was electric.
He was 2-1 with all of his locks. He got his Thursday night prop bet right with Knicks over 215 passing rushing. I think he was like in 240s, 250s. He had Tank Bigsby scoring a touchdown, and that hammered. And then the only thing he missed was he's Mr. College guy, and he missed Louisville +5.
That was a great game too, man.
Yeah.
He should have made the Indiana his lock.
Yeah.
I need to talk to him about that.
Yeah,
dude, that was a great game, man. I watched the entire game.
But then moving on from the Exterminator, we'll go right into Joe. Joe, great week also. He went 2-1. Hammered Colts money line, that hit. Hammered Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker had a great week. The only thing he missed on, or no, he hit this. It was Javonte Williams over 47.5 rushing. So you know what?
Money.
He was 3-0. My bad, Joe. Clap it up. First 3-0 week on the pod.
I woke him up. I was talking a little smack on him. I woke him up.
Thank you all.
And then Dom, we'll head on over to you.
Ugh.
Start off lock of the week. You took Oklahoma -2.5. That was a rough one.
Yeah, I'm not watching another game for Oklahoma this year.
But then you came out hot. You said Kyron Williams anytime TD, smashed it. He got it, and then maybe the worst bet of the week. You had Sutton over 3.5 catches. Honestly, I don't know if he had a target, but I don't think that was a bad bet by you. I just think that was very unlucky.
The way I looked at it, I thought Bo was going to be,
Yeah.
Good.
No, Dom, I didn't dislike that bet at all. When you took it, I was like, all right, yeah, that's like 4 catches seems low. Like I love that. Dude,
I thought Bo was finding himself.
Yeah.
They didn't even look at him.
I thought Bo was finding himself in that offense a little bit, so I thought maybe Sutton would get, he's a catch a quarter.
Bo had a good game. He just didn't throw it to Sutton. It was weird.
Yeah.
Like, the Exterminator took his rushing passing yards, and that got hammered. He crushed it, but he just didn't go for Sutton. Joe was at my house. Dom asked you to come over. You politely declined, but Joe was over, and I'm not kidding. Like, at one point in the third quarter, like, I usually say as a joke, like, oh, is this dude playing? And, like, I literally looked at Joe. I was like, is Sutton playing today? Like, not that I haven't heard his name. I haven't even seen him on the field. Like, it was weird.
Like, to that point, I only saw him, like, once in the huddle, I swear, in the first half.
Yeah.
And then Steph said that. I'm like, dude, honestly, I'm not sure.
Maybe Pittsburgh would make a move for him then, huh?
Listen, that's a guy that I wouldn't mind bringing in. I mean, I think I agree. Actually, there's another guy that they're talking about. We'll get to that, I'm sure.
We'll get to that.
But moving on, if you guys want, we can skip what my bets were.
Nah, you can.
No, I want to recap your bets.
All right, well, your boy went 1 and 2, hammered Lions money line. It was phenomenal game. I mean, came down to the wire. I had a bet on that game, and it came down to that last field goal. End up winning a decent bit of money from it, so that was fun. But speaking of the Lions, Sunday, it was just a weird day, man. The sun did not come up, and David Montgomery didn't score. It was weird.
It was a gloomy day.
Yeah,
it was.
It might have been an eclipse. I don't know, but something happened. It was just very weird. And then my final one was Kamara, 40-plus receiving yards. Dude had like 9 targets and 6 catches and had 12 yards receiving. Yeah, if you would have told me before the game that he had 6 catches, I would have marked that as like, oh, yeah, he got 40 yards.
He didn't really seem – he just didn't seem like he really wanted to be there after like the first or second quarter. I think he was just like kind of fed up with how the game was going.
Yeah.
From what it seemed like. I mean, did you guys see today? He just literally like an hour ago, he just signed a huge extension with them.
Kamara?
Yeah, he signed a 2-year, $24.3 or $5 million extension.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's making about 12.
He's been having a really good season too.
Wow.
Yeah, literally just happened like an hour ago. That's serious.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move on. We have our weekly pick'ems last week. We have here. Go through these pretty quick. We took Broncos over Saints, smashed it. We took Jags over Patriots. We missed the Falcons and Seahawks, and I think me and Dom were the ones for the Falcons, and the Exterminator and Joe were Seahawks. So blame that one on the coin flip. Then we got Bills right, we got Bengals right, we got Packers, Colts, Lions. I still have no idea how 3 people said the Eagles were going to lose this game. It blows my mind. I was the only one that was like, guys, what are we doing? Saquon Barkley revenge game. Dude goes insane, and you thought the Giants were going to win.
Sounds a little bit of a rat.
Crazy to me, but anyways, besides that, we had a good week. We got Rams, Commanders, Chiefs. This one is even worse than the Eagles one. Everyone's from Pittsburgh, and Aaron Rodgers. Who's going to cover Devontae Adams? 3 catches, 9 targets, 30
Can't
yards.
pick Pittsburgh every week, man.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
Wait, who said who's going to cover Devontae Adams?
Dom said when he was picking this, he said, who's going to cover Garrett Wilson? Who's going to cover Devontae Adams? And my exact quote I said is, who's passing it to him?
Is that okay? I think I yelled at him and I said Dante Jackson.
Oh yeah, you did.
Okay.
But so we got that one wrong. That, you know what though? This is one I'm happy we got wrong. So
it's a win-win.
You can't be too mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
This one, Ravens Buccaneers, great game. This was just a hard one. I like that we went Buccaneers, but we lost it on that. And then we took Cardinals over Chargers, and if you look, only 23% of teams in weekly pick'ems was getting the Cardinals. So we hammered that one.
That's good stuff. Over under 46 would it come out to 32?
Yeah, 32. We did 46. I think on the week we tied for third place in the pick'em, so
That's
we
not
had
bad.
pretty good week.
It's good.
But you know what, Dom?
Yep.
I heard we might be having another guest today.
We do, and let me tell you, this guy, he's a special guy. Okay, not only is he one of my best friends. I knew this kid since he was 1 year old, but he is a great bettor, and he's in here today to give us a lot of advice and help everybody that watches this channel win money. He's gonna be a regular. He's gonna be a regular guest, and everybody that follows this guy's bets. I've been with this guy when he's won a lot of money. I'm not going to disclose what that money is, how much that was, but I was with him a couple of times when he won big, and I asked him to be on the channel today, and bring him in. Bring him in.
What's up, fellas?
Let's go.
What an introduction.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Hey, I just wanted to say I've been watching the first couple episodes. Love what you guys are doing with the show, and it's an honor to be here.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Kel.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for spending the night with us, dude.
We're honored to have you.
Taking time out of your day to be with us. You kidding me?
He's going to win a lot of people money, man. He's going to win a lot of people money.
Quick disclaimer, don't listen to anything we say. Don't listen to anything. We're all idiots.
That is true. Especially me.
All right, let's put these locks to the test. Kel wins a bunch of money. Let's kick it off with our locks of the week.
Yes.
Kel, being guest, why don't you lead it off? What's your lock of the week?
All right, so I'm going to start with Jets -7. Now, I know I was listening. I heard you say, who's going to throw the ball to Adams? Who's going to throw the ball to Wilson? Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to throw to both of them this week. They lost 4 straight. 3 of those games were to Buffalo, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh. This team's a lot better than what their record's showing. They've already beat the Patriots. I think it was 24-3 in the first game. They're going to come back and make a statement this week. I like the Jets.
I like that pick, Kel.
Kel, just so you know, Steph for some reason hates Rodgers, and I can't
stand him.
Wait.
Stinks.
Let me preface this real quick. I don't hate Rodgers, but I hate that Dom holds him at a pedestal that it's still MVP Rodgers. I
never said that.
No, he didn't say it's MVP Rodgers, but like Dom acts like he's still the best quarterback in the NFL.
He's
like
absolutely up there.
Kel, this reminds me of like last year when Dom's drafting Josh Gordon in fantasy, saying he's gonna have a comeback. This is what this reminds me of. So
I think everybody can agree with me besides you on that statement, though.
Hey,
I'm with you. I'm still a Rodgers believer.
Through how many weeks of the season? I would say I'm the right one.
We're a Super Bowl contender with Rodgers.
Steph has won our league the last 2 years, drafting the entire Lions roster. So I think there's like a inter-division rivalry right there. That's why he doesn't like Rodgers or something.
That's true.
That's a great
he was
call.
in Green Bay. I love that, Kel.
You know what? I never thought of that. You might be right.
Now we're on to him. He's like, shit, they're on to me now.
Joe, well, you know what? I might go next and put that one to rest because my lock of the week, I'm taking Packers -4.5. So, you know what? Everything you guys just said is completely false. I think the Packers are a very good team, not as good as the Lions, but I just think they're a great team. They're going in, they're playing Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville's been that good of a team this year. I don't think they're horrible, but I think the Packers should go in and stomp them, and it should be well over 5 points.
I like it.
Okay.
Joe, why don't you go next?
Yeah. Okay. So my pick, I'm straying away from NFL. I'm going to go to college football. So I want to touch on something that the Exterminator brought to light last week, and that's about the Indiana Hoosiers. Their head coach, first year guy coming from JMU. If you don't know him, his name's Frank Signetti or Kurt Signetti. I get them both confused. Last name Signetti. He's one of the brothers, anyways. But he said, "I win. Google me." And I looked at I watched their game last week. I was thoroughly impressed. They're a dark horse. They're a good team. So I'm going to take them 6.5 this week by a touchdown at home against Washington Huskies.
I like it.
I don't know much about college football. I'm more of an NFL guy, but the fact that he's saying I win, it's kind of baller.
Google.
That is kind of baller.
Yeah.
All right, to round it off, Dom, I heard you have something interesting cooking up from yours, a little bit different.
Yeah, so listen, so I have a UFC bet here, and only once a month they have a pay-per-view, okay? And this Saturday there's a pay-per-view. So usually they have odds out a little earlier for those type of cards. Usually just a regular UFC event, they don't have odds out until literally like Thursday or Friday. But for pay-per-views, they'll have them like Monday, Tuesday sometimes. And so I'm going to take advantage of this week. I am going to take under 2.5 Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. I wish I could take Khamzat inside the distance here, but it's actually not available. It's one of the props that's not available yet. I think he's going to make a statement. I think he's extremely hungry. I think he's going to get Whittaker right to the ground and submit him in round 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And listen,
That's
I'm
an interesting one.
I'm a huge Robert Whittaker guy. I think he's very durable, but I think what Chimaev brings to the table is going to overwhelm him a little bit. And I think he's going to take the back and put him in a rear naked choke about 3 minutes in.
Dom, Chimaev has switched to a new camp, right, Dom? Switched back to his original one that he had the success with. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He just hired Russia's like #1 wrestling coach to be on his not in his corner, but to train with him too for this camp.
That's cool. So I mean, I guess that last camp, because I feel like his last couple of fights, his gas tank was terrible.
It's terrible,
right? So
yeah,
maybe that'll help out a little bit. But Dom, I had another question, and Kel, you too. I know you guys both are real into the UFC. So, given that Khamzat's gas tank recently has been pretty bad, I mean, I guess we could say, would you think that Bobby Knuckles can knock him out inside 2.5 if he starts gassing towards the end of the second, early third?
Good call.
You know, I'm a big fan of Robert Whittaker as well. I just think the time is now for Khamzat. I think it's his time to make a statement win here. And, you know, everybody, since he arrived, 3 or 4 years ago, we thought that he was already going to be competing in title fights at this point. Yeah. I think this is finally the one that gets him into that extra level to show the capabilities that we've been waiting for.
Okay.
Put it this way, like I wouldn't be shocked at all if Robert Whittaker goes out there and knocks him out around 1 or 2. But I just think the grappling on Khamzat's side in wrestling is just so much at a higher level than Whittaker. And Whittaker hasn't seen anything like this, I don't think, ever. I mean, Romero was good. He was a good wrestler, but Khamzat's is a little different.
Yeah.
With the submissions and the aggressiveness. And, I'm like I said, I want to be
division of strikers. So,
yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised.
His wrestling's high class, for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Should be fun.
Much better than Romero. Yeah, right. That'll be a good one. I'm actually excited to see that.
Main event's unbelievable, too.
I'll be honest with you guys. I know nothing about UFC.
Thank you.
So, on that note, get straight in. Who just broke something?
Yeah, what was that?
My wife's making dinner. I don't know if I'm having it anymore, though.
She just break the table?
No, it was like a fork that fell.
That's funny. But going
That's
right
your
into
fork.
That. Yeah. All right, guys, let's go into our TD parlay. Dom, why don't you just go straight into it?
So I took, hold on, let me bring it up, just make sure I have it right here. I took,
I forget too sometimes. I'm
going to be completely honest.
I don't have it written down.
Here, I put it up on the screen for you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry. That's because I was down to a couple. I took Bijan Robinson. I think that he started off very slow this year, and I think he found the end zone a couple weeks ago, and since then he's actually been finding the end zone a lot. I think they're going to keep feeding him the ball. He's super explosive. I could see it being a rushing or a receiving touchdown. So not only do I think he gets in once, I think he can actually get in twice, and I think he's going to put up about 20-plus fantasy points this week and lead my one fantasy team, not the one that we're in, but my one fantasy team into the championship this year because I'm in second place. So I can root for that league at least.
All right. And speaking of your fantasy team, I want to talk about that later. Okay.
Why do we have to do this?
I just want to. I think it would be fun.
Dude,
I think it would be fun. Joe, go ahead. Who you got?
I got a guy that in the past 4 games, well, actually 5 weeks, they had a bye week. Past 4 games, has a touchdown. Now his number 2 receiver on the other side of him is out. I'm going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown for a touchdown here against Tennessee Titans. Lions at home. Like I said, Jameson Williams is going to be out this game, possibly the next for some substance abuse or whatever it was. So I'm going to go Amon-Ra. I think he continues this streak.
Superstar.
Big time.
He's one of the most consistent receivers in the NFL.
He is.
Gotta love him.
He had 18 targets week 2, by the way. I just wanted to say.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton.
Yeah. Cal, who you got?
All right. One of the things I love when it comes to TD props is value. So the guy I'm going with this week, Cade Otton at plus 175. We got no Mike Evans. We got no Godwin. He's coming off a 100-yard receiving game. 25-year-old out of Washington is going to find the end zone for the second time this season this week.
I like it.
Did you just pick Cade Otton?
That's a great analysis.
Yeah. I think.
Listen, I love that.
Baker's going to rely on him, look to him when they get in the red zone. Yeah. Tampa Bay's been in a ton of shootouts this year. I like it.
I actually have him on one fantasy team, so I hope he does.
So you're right on both ends, of course.
As always.
Good pick.
I like.
What were the odds again, Kel? 175.
Plus 175. Yep.
Okay, all right. Okay. For the final TD score, we'll go with me. I went with
David Montgomery.
No, it is supposed to be a very sunny day, so if you'd like to take him, go ahead. But I can't take him in back-to-back weeks. But I will take a guy who just scored this past week against our beloved Steelers. He's a bad man. It's Breece Hall. I think anytime you think of Breece Hall and you do anytime touchdown score, most likely to not, it's going to hit. So I think that's not a safe one, but no TD score is safe, but it's as close as you can get, I'd say.
He killed us in the passing game.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say that. I would say in the first half, he had like 2, maybe 3 big ones. And then after that, he kind of went quiet in the passing game.
But they were at the point in the game where they had all the momentum.
Yeah.
That's when they went up 15-6 against us real quick.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way that was going. But that's when Breece had those couple catches. He was getting loose a little bit.
Yeah. All right. We'll move now into our Thursday night player props. I think I'll start this one off. Mine is, I think he's the best wide receiver in the league. So I think anytime you bet on him, it's never a bad option. Going Justin Jefferson over 5.5 catches, minus 155. I feel like 6 catches for Justin Jefferson. That's just kind of like walk in the park for him.
Yeah, that line was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was at 5.5. It should be 6.
I think, speaking of which, I think, Kel, you have a pretty good player prop to go along with this one.
That's right. Oh, yeah. So I have Justin Jefferson getting 100 yards at plus 150. Now, he's had 80 yards in 5 games this year. The Rams have a vulnerable secondary, and Vegas has this line only at 3 points. So it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think. They'll be throwing the ball to him, and he's averaging 16 yards per catch. So if he gets over that 5.5, he gets 6 catches. It's pretty much 100 yards right there. So I like Jefferson at plus 100 yards.
I like that a lot. He can go for a 70-yard touchdown, and then you're just cruising. You know?
Yeah,
I like that.
Who's guarding him?
Good pick.
Nobody
can. Nobody can. Dom, speaking of another unguardable guy, why don't you go into yours?
Give me that bad man. I'm taking Cooper Kupp over 70+ yards at -115. I am still worried about his hamstring situation. I actually got him at a really good pick in our draft. As you guys saw, week 1, he had 21 targets. Like, that is an insane amount of targets.
Wow.
Then obviously he got injured again. That's probably why he went so low in the draft, which I get. But when this guy is healthy, he is absolutely a top 3 receiver in the league, and there's no doubt in my mind. Hopefully, actually, I'll get into this later. I think you guys know what I was going to say there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I know
So
exactly.
I'll wait. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait.
Joe, go ahead. And
all right, I'm gonna go with the Rams' other receiver, Tutu Atwell, over 38.5 receiving yards. I think it's pretty good value. I think he's hit that the past few weeks, so I don't see anything else changing. I think it only helps him like the Kupp's back.
Agreed.
I like it. All right, and just to recap that one, if people want to know, it's Justin Jefferson over 5.5 catches and Justin Jefferson over 100 yards. We got Kupp over 70 yards and Tutu over 38.5.
I like it.
So one of these Thursdays we're all going to hit, and it's going to be a great day for all of us and all of our viewers.
Anyone plug that in? Anyone know the odds on that?
I do not.
I can try if you want me to try real quick, Steph.
I'll do it real quick.
I just realized I don't know why
or something.
we have all receivers.
Yep.
I literally just realized
in
that.
one game. Oh yeah, well we're good. It's a Thursday night game. Only 2 teams playing that
I
one.
feel like it's 2 like pass heavy teams though. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you what.
Shootout.
So actually, I think what'd you say, Kel or Jefferson 100+? Did you say +150 or +175?
I had +150 whenever I saw it. So
I think it's +175, which is even better value.
Wow.
Hey, we'll take that even more.
It's great.
Probably
value.
depends on what site.
It is +175 on DraftKings.
I think FanDuel had it at 150.
There you go. DraftKings. We
Yeah.
love you. Sponsor us.
Thank you, DK Partners. That's only +800, but if you put the boost on there, it'll pay.
Whoa, Joe, I don't think that's right. Hold on. What was our fourth? The catches for. Hold on. I have it at plus. Oh, why does it not move? Huh. I literally had +800 with just JJ's props and Tutu, and it was +800, and I added Kupp, and it's still plus. That makes no sense. We'll figure it out another time.
All right.
It's
Let's move
420
on.
with those ones.
Let's move on. We're going. We now have our weekly pick'ems. Let's keep this one real nice short and sweet.
Let Kel know. So if 2 of us have the Steelers and 2 of us have whoever, we flip a coin, and the home team's heads and the away team's tails. This is how we do it.
All right, guys. Let's kick it off. Kel, why don't you kick it off? Thursday night game. This is just straight money line.
All right. So I know I said it's going to be a close game, but I like the Vikings coming out on top at the end here.
Joe?
I'm with them. I think it's a really good ball club. Proved it last week, even though they lost.
Yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota as well, Steph. I think the Rams are still beat up, so give me Minnesota.
Clean sweep. Go ahead, Kel. Kick it off again.
Ravens are rolling this week. Rolling them.
I think that's the first 100% we've seen.
I was going to say.
Right?
Yeah.
Give me Baltimore.
Give me Baltimore as well, but watch out for Jameis Winston. That's a dangerous ball player.
I said, I was thinking for Jameis Winston now playing, I thought this should be maybe like a 3 or 4.
Like 3, yeah.
Honestly,
that's so disrespectful.
And hey, I will say another week goes by. Another week I will not say the Browns win. All right, Kel, Titans, Lions.
Give me Steph's second favorite team, the Detroit Lions.
Give me Steph's 1B team, the Lions. He's flirting with it. It's close, dude. I'm telling you now.
I'll take Detroit as well.
Listen, I wouldn't call them 1B, but if I wasn't a Steelers fan, they would for sure be my favorite team. All right.
So it's 1B.
No. They are like team number 4 because Steelers take the first 3 places in my heart.
Okay.
Cal, Colts, Texans.
Give me the Texans in this one at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Houston as well. I think CJ Stroud opens it up a little bit.
Listen, I want to be for the shoe so bad, but it's not at the shoe. I gotta go Texans.
Clean sweep yet again. You know what? Real quick, while we're going through these, look at these percentages. 96, 100, 99, 95. Now our next matchup, 97. Cal.
That is insane.
That's usually not good. That means there's going to be a lot of wins for Vegas this weekend, but I'm going Green Bay in this one. I like Green Bay a lot.
Is this game at Jacksonville? Yeah, it's at Jacksonville. Ooh. Dude, I hate to say it, but I'm going to go Jacksonville. I think they're actually going to win a couple games in a row here. I don't know why. I think they're going to catch hot. So give me Jacksonville.
I'm fading Jacksonville until they can prove it. I'm going Packers.
Yeah, I'm going Packers as well.
Remember that. Clip that.
Just like you said, remember Giants beat Phillies. Philadelphia.
The Philadelphia Phillies.
Cal?
I didn't know they're in the NFL.
Yeah. Calm down
taking,
over here.
I don't like either of these teams, honestly, but I'm taking Arizona in this one.
Isn't Tua back?
I think he is back.
Apparently, yes.
Why are they 37%?
I just think people are starting to like the Cardinals more.
And I also think if
go ahead, Joe, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think if Tua gets tackled, I think he gets knocked out again. Doesn't take much.
He's not wearing a Guardian cap.
Yeah, he is not.
I'm sorry. I'm going to take Miami, man. I think with Tua in the lineup, their offense is just as good as anybody else's. So I know he has his head situation, but
yeah, I agree with that, Dom. But I'm still going to go Cardinals.
We're coming down to our first coin flip because I do like the Dolphins with Tua. I think they're a good team with Tua. So flip it, Joe. Heads Dolphins, tails Cardinals.
Correct. We got heads.
Let's go, Steph.
Fins up. Fins up.
Fins up. Well, Cal, lock of the week. What do you have to say about this one?
Lock in those Jets. After this game, Joe Namath's going to be the one wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey.
Whoa. I'm also on the Jets.
Give me that bad man.
Be dead honest with you guys. No hate involved here. The Jets win by 30.
Thank you.
All right, Cal.
You know what? I'm a big Tampa Bay fan. I really like their team this year. This week, though, I'm going with Atlanta coming in on the road and taking the win here.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm with Cal. Same thing. Godwin and Evans out. No, I don't know. Short week.
I'm on Atlanta's side as well.
Me fourth. I think without Godwin and Evans, the Buccaneers are still solid, but those are two big losses. It's going to be hard to overcome.
They're game changers.
Yeah.
They don't have any other game changers.
Yeah, game of the week right here. My God, that's a great game.
That is a good game.
Cal?
Yep. All right. You know what? I'm going with the Bengals here. I think Chase is going to have a monster game. I think the Eagles have had some games where they've been very close and they got a little lucky at the end. I'm going with the Bengals here.
I'm also going the Bengals. I think it might be a high-scoring game, but I'm going to take the Bengals at home.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Cincy. I think, I mean, the consistency between Hurts and Burrow, Hurts scares me at some games. Man, there's some games he looks like he's shouldn't even belong in the league. Burrow is always so consistent, and I think they finally found a rhythm. So I'm going to take Cincy.
My vote doesn't matter, but I would have went for the Eagles. But I think, kind of like Dom said, this is just going to be a really good game. Might as well flip a coin on who's going to win it. But these guys start off super bad, and now they're starting to turn the switch. So I could easily see them putting up some big numbers this game.
They always do.
Go ahead, Kel.
So in this one, I'm not necessarily picking the Chargers. I'm more fading the Saints here. I think they've looked terrible the past few weeks. They're going to be traveling here, so I like the Chargers in this one.
Is Carr's out, right?
It's questionable right now.
What's that? Questionable. What's the line right now? Just real quick.
The one I'm looking at
7.5.
That makes me think. That makes me think he's most likely not. Give me the Chargers. I don't think he's going to play.
I'm with the Chargers too.
Make me 4. I saw something. It was like the Saints put up more points in their first 2 games of the season than they have every other game combined. So,
wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They've just been bad. They started off so hot, and after 2 weeks of the season, I was like, the Saints are legit this year, and then they just like kind of fell off the face of the earth. So this is going to be a good game. Kel, what are you thinking?
I was going back and forth on this one. When I watch the Bills, they always just have like ugly grinding out wins, even when Allen plays well. That's just how I feel when I watch them. And I think they're going to have one of those this week as well. I think they're going to win against the Seahawks.
Good, Joe.
I'm also taking Bills. However, I really like the Seahawks defense. I think DK being out probably is a big factor in why I'm picking the Bills here. I think he's just a mismatch for any team, really. But without him, I'm not too confident in the Seahawks.
I actually think Seattle is a really good football team. And like I always say it, I swear I say this in every episode, I am totally against teams traveling all the way to the West Coast. And I don't think Buffalo's offense or defense has really impressed me this year. I don't think they're good enough to travel to see a good Seattle team and beat them on the road this week. So give me Seattle.
What's the line here, Steph, by the way?
3.
Okay.
I think for me, I'm going Bills. Without DK, I think that's a huge loss for them. I think Tyler Lockett steps up a little bit more, and same thing with JSN, but there's some big shoes to fill that I just don't think they can.
Oh, unless they can run the ball well. That's their best shot. If they're able to run the ball well, they'll be in the game.
Yeah, but I think this might start to be a shootout, and I don't know if the run game can keep up with Allen's arm.
Could.
Cal?
2 of these teams, I didn't expect either one of them to be that good this year, and they both played way above their expectations. I'm going with the Commanders in this one and by field goal.
Okay. Is this the Rookie of the Year battle right here?
Well, isn't Jaden Daniels out?
I thought he's playing.
It's questionable.
Is he playing?
Oh, I hope he plays.
But I think even Mariota is the backup. I think Mariota could even beat Chicago in this one.
Yeah, Cal, he looked good when he came in.
Yeah,
last game too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go. I'm going Commanders as well. I believe in Mariota, even if Daniels isn't playing. I think Kingsbury's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm taking the Commanders as well.
I think I'm taking the Commanders as well also, but I just want to see if I can find something here. I saw something earlier, but I want to see their schedule. It's like the Bears, their record's 4-2, but all the teams that they've been beating are like bad teams.
I saw that too, Steph.
I think they all have like one win, like Jacksonville. I'm not sure what their record is, but I think they might have one. They beat the Panthers, not a good team. They beat the banged up Rams. They also beat the Titans.
Oh, wow.
So I think the Commanders, especially if Jaden Daniels plays, I think they're going to shock them. But if it's Mariota, I think it's going to be a good game, but I still think Commanders.
All right, in this one, I think Bo Nix has been playing very well. He actually he's been running the ball extremely well too, which surprised many people. I think the Broncos make this one look easy.
Yeah, I'm taking Denver as well. Like Kel said, I think their offense is getting going a little bit. They're running the ball really well. Sun's been MIA, but it doesn't seem like it's big of an impact as I thought it would be. So, yeah, give me Denver.
So I don't know if any of you saw this, but not too long before we started recording, I saw on Twitter, Andy Dalton was in a car accident. He was getting evaluated by medical personnel. Didn't sound like anything serious. I think it's just kind of a be safe. But regardless of that happening, I was still going the Broncos. And one player I want everyone to keep an eye on. He had a big week last week. It's Javonte Williams. I think he's going to take off the rest of the year. I think he has that ability. Ran the ball really well last week.
All right. I'm with you guys as well. Hammering Broncos here. Right into three matchups left.
I hate picking the Chiefs here because I drafted Patrick Mahomes in fantasy this year, but they're going to stay undefeated this week. Get another win.
I think it's an easy one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout.
I'm be dead honest with you guys. I think the Raiders sneak this out. Here's my thing. If it would have been a split decision, I wouldn't have said Raiders. But since you guys are all going Chiefs, I just feel like this is the game the Chiefs just drop, the Raiders win, and everyone's like all like, oh, the Chiefs aren't the same team or whatnot. Like they lose one bad game every single year, and I think it's this one. And real quick while we're here, this team right here is the last undefeated team. And whichever team was the last undefeated team in a season, they haven't won the Super Bowl since 2009, and that was the Indianapolis Colts. So, if this is any indication, we will not see a Chiefs Super Bowl win. Just want to point that out to you guys.
Okay.
They lost the Raiders last year too. They were like 9-point favorite. I think it was on Christmas Day.
That's what I'm saying.
That sounds familiar. I think that's right.
And they're 10-point favorites right now.
Yeah.
Every year they drop one. All right.
All right. In this one, I think the Cowboys defense looked horrific last week, but this is a must-win game for Dak and for Jerry Jones. They're going to get it done this week in San Francisco. I think there's a few guys banged up for the 49ers, so I'm leaning Cowboys here.
I think Dallas's worst nightmare is ever playing just San Francisco in general, especially at San Francisco. So I'm going to take the 49ers.
Even if Ayuk didn't get hurt and Debo is healthy, I still think this is a game that the Cowboys go and win Sunday night. I think Dak's going to put together a really nice performance. I'm going to take the Cowboys in Santa Clara.
So I'm going to be taking the 49ers because good old Juan, he's about to be catching some balls out there.
Mr.
Juan J.
Don't forget about Juan J.
Is he healthy?
He'll be there. He'll step up.
He's a fantasy stud this week.
He didn't play last week, right?
Mm-mm.
No, he didn't.
Are we in a split decision?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here we go. Coin flip.
Come on, who knows, Steph? Me and you, Steph.
Head Niners. Tails. Cowboys. We have tails.
Boo.
Whoa,
Boo.
Hey, listen. We're going Cowboys now, Dom. Okay? All right. What a way to end it.
All right, we're going who other than the black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers. Never a doubt.
Get those towels out. Get those towels out right now. Start waving them.
Yep.
Pittsburgh by 1,000,000.
I'm with these guys here.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Elite defense. Offense is looking like they're on the right track. I'll say that. I'm going Pittsburgh all day. 2 scores minimum at home.
I'm going Steelers also, and I will say the Eagles D-line just tore up the Giants. So imagine what our line's going to do to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a fun one. And now we got over-under on here. They're saying a low-scoring game, 36.5. That looks like an Iowa game right there.
It does.
You know what's crazy too? The Giants' defensive line is actually really good on paper.
They're one of the best lines in the NFL. I think they're leading the NFL in sacks.
Yeah, they have Lawrence, Thibodeau, and Brian Burns.
Yeah, they're solid up front.
Cal, what are you thinking for total points?
Total points.
MGM has a 36.5.
So I need to pick over under here.
No.
Do I get my total?
Line.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just giving you this as like.
I'm gonna go 34. I think we win this game about 24-10, 24-9. Giants have only scored 10 points combined the last 2 games, and then they're coming to Pittsburgh. I think we're gonna really put it on them, and I don't think we're gonna score 37 like we did last week. I think we get about 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Okay. Joe?
41. Over-unders at 41. I'm thinking like a 28-13, but I could also see like a 31-13.
Yeah, I think my guess is going to be 38. I think the final score is going to be 28-10. I think, dude, I love the way Russ looked at the end of the game for us. I know he came out a little cold feet, but he looked great, dude. We had 2 receiving touchdowns, last week, and he rushed one in. So yeah, I think 38 is going to be a good number. I don't think the Giants will score much, but I think Pittsburgh puts up about 25 plus.
I was going to say 40. So what does our averages equal out to? 34, 38, 40, and 41.
Probably like 37, 38. Right? Because Kel has 34, Joey has 41, you have 40, I have 38. It's gotta be 37 or 38.
Anyone got the quick math?
Yeah, it's like 38.
Okay.
It's like in between 38 and 38 and a half.
All right, guys. And with that, we can do just a quick recap. We went Vikings, Ravens, Lions, Texans, Packers, Dolphins, Jets, Falcons, Bengals, Chargers, Bills, Commanders, Broncos, Chiefs, Cowboys, Lurs, and 38.
I don't think we missed one.
Yeah, I don't either.
But you know what? I would love now to kind of end this podcast with just like talking about like how you guys think Sunday went for the Steelers. I know last week we got into some heated debates about who we liked more, Russ, Fields, and why. You guys want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, like Dom said, I thought Russ looked really good. Obviously, a little bit of a slow start, but it's his first game. We're in what was it, week 6. His first game is a primetime game against a good defense, against Aaron Rodgers. The game was hyped up. So for him to come out and put that type of performance on, I was pretty impressed. He looked comfortable. The offense looked fluid, and I was really happy with how he did and how the Steelers looked overall.
Did you guys notice how much the run game opened up though with Russ in the game? This is what I was trying. Dude, Najee Harris, you guys can say what you want, Steph. You can smile all you want, but he looked phenomenal. That was one of the best games I've seen him play probably since he's been a Pittsburgh Steeler.
What about last
week? First round pick.
He had one big run last week though. That's why his stats
do you know what also helped that, Dom? I agree. The Russ opened up the run game, but Warren it was the first week that Warren was healthy. He had 12 carries, and Najee performs best when they have that 1-2 punch.
That is true.
That's a good point.
Is true.
I do want to say, last week I was very against it. I said I don't see why we should do it. I was a big Fields guy. 1 week later, I will say I eat my words. I will say this. I do not think Russell Wilson looked great. He looked good to okay, I would say, in that range. I thought there was a couple throws that end up being big plays that I don't think were good throws. I just think the wide receiver made good plays. But I've said this since the game. I think the biggest thing for that is he gave them a shot. And with our receivers, like especially George Pickens, that's all he needs is a shot. He was pushing the ball downfield. I like that. A couple of throws I don't think were good throws. I thought they were underthrew, and Pickens made a great play. But also, I was talking to my dad about this, and he kind of brought it to light to me. He's like, that's his first NFL game since Christmas last year.
Yeah.
So
it's been a while. Yeah, right.
Maybe it could be something as simple as shaking the rust off. I think we definitely saw that in the first half. I don't think he looked good at all in the first half, and the second half is really where he started turning it on. But I think also with that, me and my dad always say this. I don't think the Steelers ever look good in the first half of a football game. Every first half we play, it's like, I don't know if it's coaching or like what it is, but it's like the first half of every game we play, we're like shocked that the best players on the other team are the best players. So it's like we struggle with defense, we struggle with offense. It seems like we didn't do any like research on these teams. And then the second half, we come out and it's like something happens in a locker room and magic is made. We come out one of the best teams in football. And I think we saw that definitely this past weekend.
You're right. Some of these elite teams, sorry, Joe. Some of these elite teams, like when they come out in that first series that's scripted and they already know what plays are going to run, they look unbelievable. We rarely ever see that out of the Steelers, and that's something that we definitely need to fix going forward.
Never see that. So true, Kellan. We never see that.
100%. It's because we're not taking shots on like first drive, maybe even second drive. You're trying to establish the run early. I get that, but it would be nice to see us come away with a touchdown on the first drive here and there. It'd be kind of refreshing to see. But I think if you're a Steeler fan, you have to be excited after that game. Because one, whether you were fighting for Justin Fields or not, it's Russ's first game, and he puts on that type of performance. I'm not saying that's going to be a weekly thing, but I'm not saying that that's his ceiling. I'm excited to see where it can go, and if we add another weapon, that's interesting. That changes a lot of people's perspective of this team, I think. And
now let me ask you this, Gonzalez.
Please ask.
Who were you referring to there?
So there's a couple names, and I think we mentioned some last week. We each had a guy that we like, and I loved Steph's Christian Kirk pick. And then we talked a little bit today.
That was my pick, just so you know.
Was that your pick? No, that was Steph's.
You sure about that?
Yeah, that was mine. And then you were like, "Wow, I didn't think of him. I love that."
Right. I'm sorry.
I said Kirk, and
I think I loved it so much that I thought it
became yours.
I apologize.
It is an interesting pick.
Yeah, sorry, that's my fault, Steph. I liked it so much I thought it was mine.
I will say, last week, the thought of us bringing in Mike Williams, I didn't like because I think he's a very similar receiver to what George Pickens does. But seeing how our offense went with Russ, get another dude on the opposite side of the field, throw him a jump ball. There's no one else really on the trade market that I think would fill that better than Mike Williams. So I think
Steph,
it'd be really interesting.
That's exactly what I was going right into that too, because I think if you add anyone, you're going to get better. Not just anyone, but the guys that we mentioned, and a small handful more. But another guy, someone that Russ has, chemistry with that we saw last year down the stretch a little bit was Courtland Sutton. I think he's interesting. I think he could add a lot to the wide receiver room. I think he can help Pickens a lot too. Courtland Sutton's had some rough years. He had some rough goes, a couple, pretty bad quarterbacks. But Pickens, his frustrations recently, and I think getting another vet in there that's been through some tough years would definitely help him. But Dom, the other guy that I know that you were thinking of and referring to is Cooper Kupp. Now the Rams came out. They said that they're willing to trade Kupp. They want to get some draft capital, and they're willing to eat some of his salary, which I think is a big thing. But what the number is that they're willing to take on, I don't know what that is. But if it makes sense, I don't see any reason not to. I don't think you can live in your fears with him getting hurt. And that's like fantasy too. You're not going to draft a star just because they get hurt here and there, but that's the thing with him. It all depends how much Rams are willing to eat, but I don't know if I'd give up a second-round pick for him. I'd maybe go a little bit
That's someone
less.
who takes a first-round playoff team into a Super Bowl contender right there.
100%.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Kel.
I just believe that I agree. I think Mike Williams would be a great fit with George Pickens on the outside, throwing the deep ball every once in a while on the opposite side. But I think the Steelers need more of a possession guy. Honestly, like Deontay would be perfect now. Obviously, he's gone. But
I wanted to mention him. Could he come back?
We probably won't trade for him.
What about even like Tyler Boyd in Tennessee? Like somebody who's like a slot. Yeah.
And listen,
Ridley.
Dante Jackson. I'm not going to complain about the Dante Jackson trade. I mean, I think he ended up being, a really, really good pick for us. And same with Deshaun Elliott. But I just think someone like Deontay, Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's contract's too big though. He signed that massive contract with them. Cooper Kupp, like you said, Joe, depending on what the whole salary situation.
And we'd have him for 2 more years. He's under contract for 2 more years.
I also agree with you. You said we can't be scared of the whole injury situation. I think it's just a risk we should take because I do believe, and I'm not biased at all, but I do believe if we bring a Cooper Kupp onto this team, that we can legit make a run at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind.
If you bring on like a receiver like a Cooper Kupp rather than if you were to bring in like a Sutton, I think that would command like a number 1 corner to go on him when you have Pickens now getting like the number 2. Say we see the Jets, you won't be seeing Gardner follow him around the field. You won't be seeing a Surtain follow him. They'll have to like split it up and put him on Kupp also. So I think that could open it up a lot more for Pickens than if we were to get somebody else. But it would obviously be more costly. We'd have to.
That's a good point, Steph.
Like a second
that's a really good point. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I guess, dude, if you're the Jets, like honestly, just put this for example. If you're the Jets, you're putting sauce on Cooper, no doubt. And then, I mean, Pickens is gonna be 1-1 on the other side. I mean, I totally agree with that statement.
You know who would have been perfect for us if they weren't in our division was Amari Cooper. I would have loved to see him on the Steelers. He would have been perfect. He would have fit in so well.
Yeah.
He's a great route runner.
Let's just go make a move, man. Go make a move. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, what are you waiting for
somebody?
At this point?
Yeah.
Hey, the con artist has been real quiet. It's time for him to make a big move.
Dude, we're gonna be, if we win Monday, we're gonna be 6-2. Like, we're legit. Like, go get another guy. Let's make a little run.
Yeah.
And even though the Chiefs are undefeated, I don't think they're the best team. I don't really think there's one team that solidified themselves. So we're right in that top tier of, the best teams in the NFL right now.
Baltimore's really good.
Baltimore's good. Yeah. I mean, Vikings are good. Or are you saying AFC?
Just saying in general. I don't think there's one team that separated themselves from everybody. So I think I think it's the time to make a move.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
Here's something I wanted to bring up, but we kind of touched on it a little, but it was that quote unquote bad man, Aaron Rodgers. I just want your thoughts, Dom, on that bad man threw 2 interceptions to Beanie Bishop. What are your thoughts on that? I was looking stuff up. There's been only 5 players in NFL history to pick off Rodgers multiple times in their career, and Beanie Bishop's now one of them.
I'll be honest. I think the Jets' offensive line is absolutely horrific, and I think our D line just absolutely destroyed them. And it caused Rodgers to rush a lot of throws. And I just think he made some poor decisions. And listen, I love Beanie Bishop. I'm happy for him and all, but it's not. Listen, if you put Rodgers on the Steelers, I'm not saying he's going to be MVP Rodgers by any means, but he's going to be. He would make us a legit contender right away. Like, he still has that in him. I just don't know how good of a fit the Jets are for him.
There was something else I saw with the Jets and Rodgers. It was Rodgers right now in the season has 7 interceptions through 7 games. Last year, Zach Wilson had 7 interceptions through 12 games. And the season before that, he had 7 interceptions through 9 games. So Zach Wilson is a better fit for the Jets than Rodgers is all I'm hearing.
Zach Wilson was just inaccurate. Rodgers takes shots.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of it, dude, the Jets throw the ball way more now.
Just saying.
Listen, the ball bounced off of Garrett Wilson's chest or shoulder pads.
Here's a question I thought. I couldn't tell for sure, but the Beanie Bishop kind of tip it or something? Because he got dangerously close to it on that one that hit off of Garrett Wilson. I don't know if he touched it or maybe just he got so close it messed with Garrett Wilson a little, but it wasn't it was just a clean pass right to him that just bounced off him. There was a lot going on in front of him.
I don't know.
His one-handed one was filthy. Rodgers did nothing wrong. Just Beanie Bishop made a play. I was actually picking up my girlfriend and my one buddy from the airport today, and I was like, oh, let me turn on the fan, and it happened to be the Landon Roberts show was on, and they were kind of talking to him about the game. They were asking about Beanie Bishop, and he's like, yeah, Beanie Bishop took this game really serious. He was watching film of Rodgers from all the way back in the Packers days, mid to early Packers, and he was when Rodgers makes that kind of throw, he always goes for back shoulders. So Beanie kind of set Rodgers up on that. So I thought that was kind of cool to hear. Especially
it tells you more about Beanie Bishop than Rodgers, I guess, looking back on it in those 2 interceptions.
Wait, did I hear this wrong? Did you say you picked up your girlfriend and your buddy from the airport? Your girlfriend and your buddy on a trip together, or your buddy and the league on a trip together or something?
Yeah, they went to Vegas. I'm not allowed in Vegas.
Why?
All right, wait. It sounds really weird, but can I explain?
Yeah, it sounds so weird.
I need some explanation.
They're visiting. They're visiting a good mutual friend.
Yeah,
just
I thought I heard that wrong. I was like, dude, what did I just hear?
No, we're all good friends. It's actually the person she went with is how I met her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's a nice story.
Yeah,
very nice. That's cute.
It just sounded weird. That's all.
I feel you. Well, guys, we're right at that hour mark. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Yes.
Anything pressing?
Yes. I have something. Go ahead, Dom. You can go first.
You want me to go first? All right. I just really want to thank Kel for coming on here. Take time out of his night to come join us on the podcast. I hope we have him on here as much as we can. I know everybody has a busy life, but I think everybody's going to enjoy the episode. I think everybody's going to see how good Kelly is actually at betting, and I hope we see him as much as we can on this show. So thanks, Kel.
Hell yeah, Kel. Thanks for stopping by.
Having me on. I had a blast, and hopefully we can win some people money this week. And I just had one thing to say before I go. If Russell Wilson ever has a pass like he did in that first series, it was a quick pass. He has to come onto this show and explain personally himself.
Yeah, clip that. Send it to him. Tag him in the comments.
Appreciate it, boys.
Like thanks, Kel. Thanks for stopping by.
Wait, Joe, did you have anything you wanted to say?
I did. I've been thinking about it all night. So I'm just going to come out and say it. I think Tank Bigsby deserves a job in Jacksonville. I don't care what ETN did last year. If you're like quarterbacks, besides the Steelers situation right now, you ride the hot hand. Tank Bigsby is unbelievable right now. You see the numbers he's putting up. I think 2 games in a row, over 100 yards in at least one score, and that's a bad offense. For him to be able to do that, I think that's saying something about his ability. Maybe now you possibly get rid of one of your receivers and use ETN a little bit more in the slot. I'm not saying completely take him out of the backfield, but I think I think Bigsby deserves more of the carries there. I think he's been proving it.
One thing I've always wondered why NFL teams don't do this enough, and I don't really understand why, is when you have 2 running backs who are very good, why do they not have more 2 running back sets where you could start running RPOs more, where it's almost, or not RPOs, but it's kind of that triple option where it's say Bigsby's hands down is a better runner, especially this season, and ETN, he's just a receiving back. Like he's shown he could be a good receiving back. Why aren't they doing more where it's like ETN is kind of like he's in the backfield, but he's like farther away. And then you can do like read options type stuff where it's like, are you giving it to Bigsby if the hole opens up? Okay. If not, you dump it off to ETN, or you could just do play action with Bigsby and then you still have ETN out there to run the route.
I'm with you. I think they could benefit from some more RPO. But the one thing when you get to two backs, that's just putting more people in the box, kind of unnecessary. So like
that's what I was going to say.
If you have them in the slot and you can motion them, you could do a fly motion, you could do an orbit motion, you could do something along those lines. You could run a speed option off of like an orbit motion. You fake the Bigsby up the middle and inside zone and run a speed option the other way with Lawrence and ETN. I think that's a great play. But I think ETN should be used more in the passing game too.
I think it's also another, like, the read option's not like something, especially at the NFL level, that you can just kind of plug in and it's going to work right away. I think it's something that you would have to almost kind of adapt to over a period of time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think you're going to put Bigsby and ETN and start running a read option. It's going to work right away because, to Joe's point, like, you're going to have more people in the box. So I just don't know how effective it would be right now. Like, just starting it right like next week. And college is different than NFL. Everybody's, at the NFL level is, top tier what they do. College, you can get away with that. You can expose certain players or whatever. But I just think it's more of a college thing to get away with. But I'm not saying it wouldn't work. I just think it would have to be more involved.
See, I'm not even saying like have that be like your set offense, but I'm saying like just incorporate it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you could, and it could be effective, but I think you have to show it, but show, a lot of passes too out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So people are a little cautious about that. Then that'll open it up a little bit. But then at that point, that's going to have to be like one of your most used formations, for it to be effective as a two-back set in running the ball.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Do you guys have any questions we should ask the viewers for this week? Well, first question, number one, is do you guys like Kel as much as we did? We loved having him on. I think I speak for the whole gang here. He was a great person to talk to, knows his stuff. So, number one, would you guys like to see him more? And if you say no, I'm sorry. He's probably going to see him more.
I was just going to say.
We just want to hear. We just want to hear some fan input on that too. But you guys have any questions you want to ask?
Yeah. How about let's ask who do we think the best fit for the Steelers would be at the wide receiver 2 position right now?
I like that, Dom.
Yeah, let's see what
free agent or trade candidate, or just a trade candidate.
Literally anything.
Either one. Okay.
Just best fits right now, receiver 2 position.
But I will say, make it realistic. Don't be commenting Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Comment whatever
he ain't a receiver 2 anyways.
Yeah. Well, neither is Cooper Kupp, but
I was going to add to that, Dom, and as a bonus, include the compensation. What we would be giving up for said player, or if it's a free agent. What? Yeah, give us the deal.
Yeah.
All right, guys. There's your weekly question. Let us know who you think is a great trade piece for the Steelers. Give us your trade idea. If you were the GM, what would you do? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you really like us, send us to a friend or two. Help us grow. The more we grow, the better we can become at this.
The better context, Jesus, everything possible. Hopefully soon here we'll be in person doing this. So, help us out.
Exactly. And also, we've been starting to put out some shorts recently. Make sure you go give those a little view, comment, like those, everything.
Give us some other ideas. We're doing some immaculate grid. We're doing some stuff like that. Give us some ideas. What kind of content you guys want to see? Yeah, Sporkle will probably get into that too. But we want to give you guys what you want.
We're down for anything. With that, guys.
Wow.
Well, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace out.